think hip hop is at a very interesting place right now. I think it's coming back in terms of popularity and just like people are more excited about the songs. Even if the songs coming out are not like super like progressive in terms of, you know, lyrical content, but like people are making fun party records from the super hood stuff, and it's like they're getting reactions. You know, when you play these records in the club, they're like really going off. When there was a period of time and there was just like hot hip hop records that I'd even want to play in the club. And like that's kind of what pushed me into electronic music, because hip hop got so stale, and I was like, I'm playing these parties and like these records are boring to me now. Like I could play the same records, the classics, but like that's not gonna go off in a current club. And I could play the current hip hop, but that shit's whack at the time. And I'm just like, what's gonna get that reaction? And I started getting into electronic music, and it was just like the energy behind that music just like translates to a crowd so well that you get people really turning up and just like going ape shit and dancing and jumping around and like not worrying about like, you know, dumb shit, where in a lot of like hip hop parties, it's a lot more just like dudes stunting and just trying to holler at chicks, and it's less about the actual music and the party. So that's why I gravitated towards that. I mean, hip hop now is interesting because it's kind of coming back. Like I feel like underground hip hop is back. You know, the fact that artists like, you know, Action Bronson can tour worldwide, and you know, Run the Jewels popped off so hard. It's just like the fact that like mainstream culture is like accepting like dudes like that on a major level. Even like Mac Miller, like all his stuff is, you know, very underground sounding. He doesn't make commercial music, but he's, you know, one of the top rappers around now. So it's like interesting that underground is like commercially accepted now. Obviously like the hood commercial stuff is obviously always going to get pushed to the top because that's where the money's behind. But it's like, I think hip hop's in a pretty good place. And honestly, from where I'm at in the electronic world, it's great because like I'm seeing more and more electronic artists incorporate hip hop into their sets. But it's funny because they're like trying hard. They're like trying to do this and they're like throwing some hip hop shit, and they're just like, it works because the crowd is dumb, you know, a lot of the times, and like they don't know transitions and this and that, and they just know the song. They're like, oh, word. But like for me, like when I see some dudes drop down to some hip hop shit, I'm just like, oh, you're reaching right now, bro. But it's fine. Like the fact that they're doing that opens up the door to dudes like me and like Flosstradamus and Snake and all these dudes who our sets like goes from like house to trap to hip hop to twerk stuff to like whatever we want, you know? So it's like the fact that hip hop is accepted in the electronic world now is great for me, especially in terms of my production and the songs I put out. Like even though I'm making electronic music, it all has a hip hop flair every time. Like the vocal chops I'm using, or the artists I'm collabing with, like, or the 808s, you know, like everything has a touch of hip hop in it, you know? Even if it's in this other world, like I'm always trying to like show love to my roots. Just like my new single featuring Redman, Turn Me Up Some, you know, it's a party record. Like it's very minimal in terms of how much I use Redman on the track, but like you feel his presence. And like when it drops, it's like it works in the hip hop club, but it works in the electronic club. So it's like trying to just make like crossover music that works for both worlds, because I feel like the lines are so blurred now. You know, kids, like when we grow up, it was just like, yo, I like underground rap, that's it. Like if you liked this type of rap, you didn't like that type of rap, you know? But now like kids, they don't really care about genres right now. I feel like kids like everything, you know? So like as a producer, that I'm trying to produce everything, because that's how I DJ. That's how people like look at music, I feel like, in general now. So it's like, why limit yourself to one genre when people like multiple genres and I like multiple genres? And it's like, why be a one-trick pony if you're able to, you know, do it all?
African Bambaataa was sitting shotgun, grabbed the wheel, and basically saved all our lives.
The problem is these kids don't have fear of consequence because they didn't get spanked, they didn't get disciplined when they were growing up.
Because the studio to me is a temple, it's sacred. It's only for those people that are working on the specific project and task at hand.
If I wouldn't have lost my phone, or if I wouldn't have lost my BlackBerry, I would have been in that van. And who's to say where I may have been sitting when the shooting happened and whatnot.